morning. It's Saturday the 16th of January 2021 and I'm back in the dunes testing out my knee still. So I'm in the Westduinpark today on the coast to the west of the Hague and Trevigen. Just go down onto the trail. So it's cold today, not real cold, but cold compared to what it's recently been, so it's about 0. So I've come out in hat and gloves today, which normally only lasts about 5 minutes and I get overheated, but there's quite a cold wind, blowing headwind at the moment, so that's keeping me cooler than usual. So the Dutch government actually had 2 quite major announcements this week. Tuesday, the original lockdown that started in December had been initially timed to the 19th of January, so Tuesday coming up, but last Tuesday, typical day when the cabinet meets, they announced that they were going to extend the lockdown until the 9th of February, which is approximately similar time to other European countries and most notably in the UK, where they went into the lockdown. They had these other tier systems in place, but they had a lockdown in place after the New Year, which has now gradually been extended further and further into February. So just done about halfway, so about 5.5k now, and definitely that headwind was really cooling, so I've shed the hat now. So the issue that I keep having with so-called self-isolation, or it is self-isolation, self-managed isolation, which is one of the UK policies, particularly if you've had symptoms, had a positive test, or you've just travelled from another country, is it keeps being referred to as quarantine. And to me, that is not quarantine. It's completely self-managed. It's completely at your gift. It's very rarely even observed, from what I understand. So a couple of times last year we went in and out of the UK, between the UK and Netherlands when we could. You know, you fill out all these travel forms, but you're rarely asked to show them, and it's just been reported that they actually ask for about 10% of them. Now they are done online, so I'm wondering whether they monitor them online, but of course there's no monitoring of you, where you go, whether you stay in quarantine. And what they say with self-isolation is you're not supposed to go out at all, so not even for essentials. Got everything delivered. So whereas if you talk about quarantine, particularly in some Southeast Asian countries, so I know the situation, places like Singapore, Thailand, there, and China, Japan, I think similar, I'm not absolutely sure, I have to check on that. When they say quarantine, they mean it. When you arrive in the country, close to Australia and New Zealand as well, sorry, so it really is the Pacific Rim, you go into a quarantine hotel for up to 14 days. Now that is a monitored facility and you can't leave it, and food is delivered to your room, so you are in proper quarantine, as is it's being monitored, and you're basically being held there. And so that's a real difference, and inevitably stuff like that does bring control there. So I'm on the home stretch now, just done 7k, so the knee's getting stronger. I'm running less than I ordinarily would. I normally run 3 times a week. Obviously that stopped completely for a time while I I couldn't even walk on that right knee. It still is what I call aches, but not, there's no pain there. So I might see at some point about checking out with a physio, seeing what I can do to improve and avoid. I'm assuming it's my MCL, because that's where the initial pain and getting to come through, and that obviously then meant my knee wasn't stable. I twisted it, and that's what led to the swelling. So I guess it's a bit of a mixed blessing, whether you do or don't, whether you stop exercising or carry on moderately. I've decided for the latter for the moment, cut it back, but still try it, because it does increase blood flow, and of course it does maintain your general fitness, and if you don't use it, you are really going to suffer longer term problems. So anyway, we'll see how it goes for the next month or so into February, and take it from there, and hopefully I'll be fit and healthy for when things start to open up in the summer and beyond. I think it'll probably be autumn. So vaccination programs are well in full swing now. A lot of countries, India's just announcing a massive program. Here, Netherlands, so as of yesterday, 15th of January, they now have all frontline health workers have gone through the vaccine program, and now they're going to go to care homes and the care workers, and then we're waiting to see what the next phase is. UK, one of the early doctors, and they started in December, and they've got, it's over 2.5 million people immunised. So they went for frontline health workers, nursing homes that are currently rolling out at the moment, and all over 80-year-olds, and those particularly vulnerable populations, as long as they didn't have autoimmune or immunity issues where they may have actually had problems with the vaccine itself. Right. So just wait for get across the road here, no trams, which is good. And then I'm into my last little bit into the Westduinpark. Unfortunately, they've just put these little ramps. Now, it does get a bit eaten up, these trails on the entrance, but this is really slick kind of stone, almost concrete. So the moment they get wet, it's like trying to run or walk on ice, and I hate them, absolutely hate them. So if the Hague can will listen to me, they'd put in a much rougher surface if they're going to put in anything, not these slick surfaces. They look nice, but they're bloody dangerous, and I think there'll be a lot of admissions for people with broken hips and ankles very shortly, unfortunately. Anyway, another public health message. So here I'm in the Westduinpark. So I swap lots of runners and people in Westduinpark for all the dog walkers that frequent this park. Lots of frequent doggy bins, but not everybody uses them. Anyway, so I'm almost back now. A cold but very pleasant morning, and a few hellos, which is always nice. Not everybody keeping their head down. And yeah, we'll just relax for this weekend and then get on with the work. And just a quick hello, I don't know if you will watch this, but to my friend and long-term colleague Chad, who unfortunately yesterday got announced out of the blue, like it always does in the US, that he was being laid off. And anyway, I've got my own views on it. which I'll bite my tongue on, but it brings it home to you that, particularly in pandemics and these extremes, and it is not clever when people don't have their job anymore and haven't got that to rely on, and particularly where you have quite inferior, what I call poor terms and conditions of employment contracts, which unfortunately is a typical thing in the United States, certainly compared with Europe anyway. Anyway, I'll keep in touch, Chad. Best of luck to you. I hope you get something good and positive out of this, and it doesn't stall what has been, I think, an absolutely brilliant career. And I hope to work with you and continue working with you, and at least keeping in touch as a friend anyway. Cheers.